You think you comprehend power, my friend? Many people have asked me about the force behind my 1-inch punch and the rapidity with which I strike. But what if I told you that the biggest force I've ever discovered cannot be documented, photographed, or seen at all? The most powerful forces in our cosmos are invisible. The wind that smashes mountains. Oceans move due to gravity. They remain concealed from our eyes, yet their rule is absolute. Hong Kong, 1963. I'll never forget that moment. As incense smoke drifted around my training space, I witnessed something that revolutionized what I knew about martial arts. A profound secret that I've kept hidden until today. Not because it was risky, but because few people were equipped to understand. But, my friend, you're here now. Empty your cup of all you thought you know about power. What I found that day transformed more than just my martial arts. It unveiled the root of all human potential. That morning in Hong Kong started like any other. For years, I'd pushed my body to its greatest limit. Every muscle, every movement, honed over thousands of repetitions. But perfection still eluded me. As I sat in meditation, I noticed something weird. My breath, it changed. Not only the rhythm, but the absolute essence of it. You see, my body, we breathe every second of our existence, yet we never really realize the breath itself. In that moment, I felt something extraordinary, something that contradicted my years of martial arts training. The ancient masters talked about Kai, but this was different. Modern martial arts have become obsessed with the external, with visual form, technique, and power. But here I was, witnessing something that opposed what I had taught. The less I attempted to control this force, the stronger it got. Every martial artist strives to get stronger, faster, and more powerful. But they are all staring in the wrong direction. They're like someone hunting for the wind and attempting to grab it with their hands. This force that I discovered could not be grasped. It could not be coerced. It needs to be allowed. And that, my friend, was only the beginning. Now, listen closely, because what I'm going to say contradicts what most martial artists think. The key I uncovered did not require adding new ways, strength, or speed. It was about recognizing the gap between all of these things. You see, between every thought, movement, and breath, there is a moment of pure possibilities. The Japanese masters refer to it as ma, or nothingness. But this nothingness surrounds everything. This emptiness, like the space between musical notes in a symphony, carries true power. I discovered conscious unconsciousness, the state in which your mind operates like still water, reflecting without thinking and responding without planning. This is what sets my martial art different. Not the speed of my fist, but the silence preceding the hit. Not the strength of my kick, but the space from which it emerges. The greatest power comes from giving up the one thing most fighters cling to: control. When you learn to enter this condition, my friend, you become as effortless as gravity, itself unstoppable. Let me tell you about something that happened during my private training sessions. A learner who was very competent and physically powerful challenged me to demonstrate this hidden energy. He was skeptical, you realize. He, like many others, relied only on what his eyes perceived. I asked him to hurl his biggest punch at me, but instead of blocking or escaping, I just existed. My body responded without thinking or effort, like water running gently around a stone. His power became mine. His force faded into nothingness. Do you know what I'm saying? This is the same force you have right now. Feel your breath while you listen to my words. Consider the distance between your thoughts. The tranquility you experience is not weakness. It is purely potential. Your consciousness can learn to move between form and formlessness, just as water can flow gently in a stream or smash with the fury of a tsunami. Fighting becomes simpler once you realize this concept, my friend. Movement becomes inevitable. You stop trying to be powerful and instead allow power to pass through you. What I learned that day in Hong Kong was more than just a martial arts technique. It was a universal law. The ancient Tao gurus were well aware of this. Even contemporary physics confirms this. Reality's fundamental nature is discovered in the space between matter rather than in matter itself. Allow me to tell you about my last real fight. My opponent was bigger, stronger, and known for his destructive might. Everyone anticipated a hard struggle, but at that moment I remembered the empty cup. Most combatants want to fill their cup with abilities, plans, and force. However, actual strength rests in being utterly empty, like the space in a room that makes it functional. I went into that fight with no thoughts, expectations, or ego. Nothing, only complete emptiness. And in that state, I moved like the wind, unseen, untouchable, yet undeniable. The conflict finished in seconds. However, most people are unaware of the following. This power isn't confined to fighting. It is the fundamental definition of human potential. The ability to become nothing equals the ability to become anything. Remember what I asked you in the beginning. What about unseen forces? You now understand the strongest force is within you. In the space between your ideas, in that space between times, it has always been there, ready to be uncovered. Tonight, while you're alone, be still. Feel the gap between your breaths. Consider the calm between your ideas. That gap contains what I discovered, the wellspring of all power, possibility, and opportunity. You see, my friend, the ultimate key isn't about being stronger than others. It's about being empty enough to enable your true power to flow through you. Like water working its way through stone, as if the wind were building the mountains. Like gravity moving ocean. Become one with the invisible power. This is my gift to you. Use it carefully.